Welcome everyone, do not fall for the hype. The 2021 M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch is not a very big upgrade. This is coming from someone who has used the 2019 Intel Max Spec 16-inch MacBook Pro for about 1.5 years now, and who has recently decided, after watching all the reviews, I'm going to upgrade only after 1.5 years of owning this laptop, which I was planning to own for 6 years, to this MacBook. And let me just get this out of the way. This Mac is better than this one. This is not a question of if it is better, but how much better. And unfortunately, this MacBook isn't very much better compared to this one. So I'm going to go through what they changed, the big stuff, and why it's not really that much of an upgrade. You know, things aren't as they seem. So first of all, let's talk about the keyboard. People have been praising the keyboard because of the removal of the touch bar. And honestly, you know, let's just keep it real here. I've gotten used to the touch bar, so I like it personally. You know, I can switch between the two, no issues. But the touch bar does it better. I'm sorry, right? Let me show you why. So these are all the functions you have available on the touch bar, right? Take a look at those. And so what they've done is they took a lot of what was on the touch bar and then they just got rid of it, right? So the brightness toggles, you know, up, down, okay, that is available on here. The multitasking, that's also available. Then they added the search and then Siri. Like, what on earth was this? And then night mode as well, do not disturb mode. What on earth are you thinking? Do not disturb mode? You put a whole goddamn function key here. Now I'm going to keep it real. The search is fine. If you want to put search on, keep it there. But what about an option to change the backlight instead of Siri or do not disturb, right? And you could say, oh, Siri, you know, you have to use that command. Why not remove the search in a night shift, move Siri here, and then use the brightness backlight controls? You know, that's a good question, something Apple should answer. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of the function keys they put on here. And when you have a touch bar Mac, you can change these to whatever you want. When you have a function key Mac, you cannot change it. You are stuck with what you have got, unless there's some magic way to modify it, but I'm not aware of that. Maybe there is, maybe I'm looking like a fool, but as things are, touch bar, honestly, is better than the function keys. This is my opinion. I know that I've looked at editors' videos and they say, no, this is worse, but that's just my opinion. Next to display, so you look at the display here, look at that big fat display, and then look at this small display. Now, I don't know how people use their Macs personally, because, you know, I may just be weird, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, let's say, a new window of Edge. Now, what you may notice is I personally, when I'm using, you know, all this stuff, I don't go into full screen, right? I usually have it so that the browser or whatever application I'm using, whether that's Final Cut, just whatever I'm using, is at best, right, taking up, you know, the top bar right here. But this area right here, the status bar, I never go into full screen mode to hide the status bar, right? And so when you consider that, then you realize something. Look how much of a small difference there actually is, right? So let me show you here how small the gains really are. So you can see here, this is whatever this is called, non-notch. This is with notch. It's tiny. It really is tiny. It's like, I mean, what is that? That's like 1 centimeter difference. It really is not a difference at all. It is not a big difference, right? And you can argue this all you want, right? It looks like you have a lot more screen real estate. However, this screen real estate is always stuck with the notch. If I go to full screen mode, you just see it just goes black. If I go to full screen mode here, right? You get more screen real estate, and then you realize, look at the goddamn difference. If you use full screen mode, it's like 0.01 centimeter difference. And this was a display that they were gassing up. Now, what I'm going to say right now is there are some good things about this display. You can watch HDR content on it, and it looks incredible. You could not do that on the 16-inch. You could view it, but you're not going to see the full experience because, you know, you can't, you know, go very high when it comes to the brightness department. That is something I really like. But then you have ProMotion, right? ProMotion, I turned off. Yes, I turned off on this Mac. And, you know, I'm someone who can tell the difference. But, you know, if you give me 75 hertz, 90 hertz, 60 hertz, I can tell you all the difference between the two, 120 hertz as well. But when it comes to this Mac, the animations at the time of recording, this could change in the future, and I could be biting my words, but they are not optimized for 120 hertz. Surely anyone who's got this Mac will agree with me with this, right? I've actually turned it off. You can see I set it to 60 hertz. And the reason why is because when you set this to ProMotion, the only thing that you can notice is the mouse is smoother, right? So am I going to drain my battery life hardcore for a smoother mouse? No, I'm not. I'm going to set this to 60 hertz, okay? You know, you get like a bit of a jarring effect when it comes to the mouse initially. You get used to it. Of course, I've been using a 60 hertz Mac the whole time. And honestly, these animations, you do not notice the difference when you're using the 60 hertz versus 120 hertz. Now, I will recognize that this is, you know, what we're looking at, the display, the keyboard, but what's in the inside is where the good stuff happens. This stuff here, this display and the keyboard, people were gassing up for no reason, right? M1 Max can render 4K HEVC, 60 FPS, 85 megabit per second video without the fans turning on, right? This is compared to the 16-inch, you know, i9. Let me just show my specs real quick so that we're on the same page here. You can see Max i9, 32 gigs of RAM, 5500M, 8 gigs. This was actually the max spec when it comes to the graphics when I bought it, and a month later they bring out the 5600M. And yeah, this thing will literally take off if you don't hold it down. Like, honestly, this is a portable jet engine. This stays quiet the entire time, and that is a big deal. That is a big upgrade in my opinion. Also, the battery life is far better because the problem, I think someone's pretty related. You use integrated graphics and Chrome lags hardcore. So then you use dedicated graphics and your battery life isn't great. If I'm being real here, if I'm using integrated graphics, my battery life on this 16-inch is worse than this 16-inch when I'm using M1 Max graphics, which means that you have really smooth stuff. If I go battery preferences, here, currently I'm on low power. I don't know why I set it to that, but I'm always on high power. I think I was just messing around earlier. And when you're on high power, honestly, you do not notice the battery drain. It is so incredibly low, right? So right now I'm at 59%, and I think I've had this MacBook not charged since 2 p.m. and I had a 30-minute bus journey home. So it's been on that entire time between 2 and 8, and it's at 60%. Oh my god, if that happened on an Intel MacBook Pro, you know, you would have had to have a battery pack right here, 10 battery packs maybe, in order to do that. So, you know, that is pretty cool. One thing I did notice is my adapters do drain as much battery life, which means I'm going to have to get new adapters, because I use an Ethernet adapter, because, you know, in college, right, and the Wi-Fi just gave up. It just doesn't work anymore. So I use the Ethernet adapter and it drains a ton of battery, regardless if you're on M1 or Intel, which, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'll have to suck that up, just get a new adapter. And honestly, I don't really need any, you know, all the ports, because we have ports here. Finally, the SD card slot is something I need, and it's available now. I just shove it in. Look at the SD card slot on the 16-inch. Oh wait, what's that? There is no SD card slot. Yeah. So honestly, you know, I've been a bit disappointed. Okay, yes, this costs £3,500. This costs £2,900, and this is way better. But I don't know. I'm undecided whether or not loud fan noise and better battery life is worth £2,900, or if I should just keep this. Now I could probably sell this for 2,100. And then I get, you know, then it's really like, is this worth 800 quid? I would have to buy Apple Care 2, which is 300 quid. So is this worth, is no fan noise and the M1 Max worth 1,100 quid? I'm undecided, you know, I'm undecided. I need to run some proper tests, which I'm going to do personally when it comes to Final Cut, because that's all I care about. What I care about is, are my render times going to go down significantly, right? I don't care about the fan noise. Seriously, I couldn't care less. It's a nice feature, you know. It makes me want to use my iPad less. Maybe I'll sell the iPad too. But really, what really matters is the actual processing power. And if you want to see me render stuff, I don't care what it is. Let me know in the comment section, and I'll make a large video testing out a bunch of rendering stuff. I have this MacBook goes into repair. It's actually faulty, and I use consumer law, so even though I've had this for 2 years, Apple's going to give me a free repair. If you want a video on that, just let me know. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, summary is, I'm a bit disappointed with this M1 Max. Don't think for a second I don't think it's great, but is it that great? Not really. So there it is. Bye bye.